Hello, it's Pepsi back with another Wild Horse Islands video. Today I am going to be doing a video on how to hunt ghost horses and my tips and tricks with hunting ghost horses to get the most out of your grinding on these last couple days before the Halloween event ends. So again, the Halloween event or Haunted Island event in Wild Horse Islands is running until November 15th. Which will give you about 9 more days to hunt ghost horses and complete the Halloween event for prizes, either using crypt keys or corrupt energies. So be sure you are completing those goals and getting as many horses as you can. I know that ghost horses are selling for a lot of tokens, even the lower or mid-tier breeds, but a lot of players are looking for Frisians, Clydesdales, and Shires right now before the event ends, and those are going for the most. So let's get started on how to find ghost horses. So I am here on mainland and there is the portal to Haunted Island. Normally, if I'm hunting ghost horses, my first tip would be you don't have to go run over to the portal. If you spawn in and are especially on a private server, it is much faster just to go to William and do the transportation to Haunted Island here. It just makes it a lot faster than having to ride your horse over to the portal every time, especially if you spawn on the other side of mainland. My next tip is definitely use a private server if you have one available, especially if you are running solo and you don't have anyone else in that private server that is loaded in on Haunted Island. Private servers are much easier to find ghost horses just because when you spawn in, you are refreshing all the horses, and I find my luck is much better on a brand new spawned in Haunted Island versus when you are waiting for horses to respawn. And in general, private islands are better to hunt ghost horses because you are not competing with other players to find ghost horses. So that would be my next tip. Now, I'm going to show you my map of the spawn locations and the route I do to hunt ghost horses. I'm going to explain it real quick, and then we're going to do a couple runs of hunting ghost horses with my map in the corner like this. But first, I'm going to show you the whole map. Feel free to take a screenshot, and I'm going to go through it real quick. So there are 6 spawn areas where horses are located. So there should be 6 total horses on every haunted island that is loaded in. Now, some horses you won't find if you're in a public server because they may have already been caught, and then you have to wait 10 to 20 minutes for those horses in that spawn area to respawn at one of those spawn points. But if you're in a private server, you will have 6 horses every time you load in on Haunted Island. Now, horses will spawn in those 6 areas. I found certain spawn points where they are located usually in those areas. They're marked by a green X on the map. And you can see my route is on purple, which is the route that I will be following in this video. I will be doing about 2 runs just to show you. And then those blue circles on the map, I've circled where you can find ghost vision. So if you happen to take the map and are running through and you are about halfway done and you're running out of ghost vision, don't forget to re-up your ghost vision just to find all 6 horses and make sure you checked that all 6 of them are either not ghost horses or you're not interested in them, in catching them. And then you can either log out and refresh your private server, or if you're in a public server, or if you are catching all your horses in your private server and you just want to wait for them to respawn, you can do that as well. But I don't recommend that. So I'm going to show you how I do some hunting right now. Again, feel free to go back in the video and screenshot the map. If not, You can also just follow along with this video, and I will do some more tips and tricks while I'm going through everything. So when I spawn in on Haunted Island, I automatically run towards the first ghost vision point, and I look around. If I see a horse around here, I know I don't need to check this first spawn area, but I don't see any horses that are not ghost horses. So I'm going to get ghost vision. Ghost vision starts before you click on the close button. So when you talk to the Eternal Soul and say, I want ghost vision, even if you stay on the screen for like 10 seconds, that's 10 seconds you are losing. So to make sure to click I want ghost vision and close as soon as possible. You can see I was in that screen for about 10 seconds. So make sure you stay as long as possible. Because I didn't see a horse in this first spawn area, I am going to look around. It won't be on anything past that green bridge. So I found a horse here. It's a lazy horse. It was on the ground, and it's not a ghost horse, so I'm gonna keep going. We reached spawn location number 2. It is not by this horse shop, so I'm gonna check a little bit up this hill. As you can see on the map, it might be up here. It is not up here. So I am going to go back towards the trader and the horses. I usually double check if I missed a horse by the horses. Sometimes because they're ghosts, I can miss them. But I didn't. If I go up, I found my second horse, which is not a ghost horse. We're going to spawn location number 3, which is this pumpkin patch. Usually, sometimes the horses are over here. If they're not, I go through the pumpkin patch and you can see the little bar. If you have, so this is my next tip. If you have a lasso equipped, you can see the bar of the horses you are hunting. And you can see the little catch bar. So when I was over the hill in the pumpkin patch, I can see that there was no horses over here to catch, and I saw the catch bar on the other side of the hill, which is why I crossed over. So this is the third spawn location. Now from here you can either go left or right. I usually go right because there is more spawn locations on the right, so I find it easier to do the more spawn locations first. I don't see another horse here on spawn location number 4, so I'm gonna go up this little hill, and I found it. It is not a ghost horse, but it is a thoroughbred. So if I was interested in catching some mid or high tier horses just to gain some money, that is where I would go. Then I'm gonna run towards the top of this triangle, and I already see this horse is not a ghost horse. This is my next tip. If you already see the horses, do not go on the little pathways. There's no point to go further up the path because you've already found the 5th horse, and you know there will be no more spawns in the other pathways. So you can automatically just turn around and go backwards. Now you can go through the water. I prefer to go back down the path to the other side of the fork in the road because I think the water is slower, and I'm looking for my last horse spawn, and I found it. It's right here. It's a Dutch. It's not a ghost horse. So that was kind of unlucky. We got no ghost horses. Again, there's no point to go further down the path because I already found the 6th horse. So I am just going to leave the game. And yes, you can actually see that. Okay, so I left the game. I'm going to go on servers, join my private server, and do it all over again. And once again, this is pretty quick. I usually finish in about 4 minutes, a little bit less, 3 to 4 minutes. And I think when I left that private server on that run, I did it in like 4.5. So again, this time I spawned on the other side of mainland, so there's no point in running to the portal. I'm just gonna go to William, the boat captain, and go to Haunted Island from his menu right away. And this one I'm going to do super fast once again. Another tip I recommend is to craft bulk lassos. I craft copper lassos. So I will show you once Haunted Island loads. It'll take a second. Oh, there we go. And I also recommend making sure your chat is closed so it's not blocking your vision. So here I craft bulk lassos, and every time I'm ghost hunting, I leave my lassos on all the time so I can look for the capture bars. You might get distracted with the corrupt pumpkin capture bars, but once you are hunting for a while, you get used to knowing that the corrupt pumpkins bounce and they won't stay still like a horse would. So you kind of get an idea of where the corrupt pumpkins are, and you know that those bars are not the ones you're looking for. Another tip is if you see a horse back here that is not a ghost horse, before you turn on ghost vision, don't bother looking at that first spawn location, because you know you already found the horse and that is in that spawn area. And my last tip before we get started on this run is your settings. If you are hunting ghost horses, they did edit the trick, edited the update, so it is easier to see. It is not as dark, but I recommend turning your brightness up. I usually leave it on 75. For me, that's fine, but turn your brightness up as much as you can. I like to turn my saturation and contrast up a little bit too, just so I can see a bit better. And that way you can look around a little bit better, even when you have the ghost vision. Now, I didn't find the first spawn point horse, but I found it right now. It is a ghost horse, but it is an Appaloosa. Right now, I'm not interested in catching lower tier ghost horses just because I have a hard time selling them, even for a couple thousand tokens, and it just uses inventory space. So I'm actually going to skip over that one. Now notice, because I found that ghost horse back at the beginning, I found it right over here at the beginning next to that green bridge. So I'm trying to zoom in. Found it right here. No horses will be across that green bridge, but I found it on the other side. I am not going to go down this fork in the road to look for that horse because I've already found a horse in that spawn area. So I am not going down this way. There is no point for me to do so. I am going to go straight up the path over here. There we go. Okay, we reached the second spawn area. There is no horse by the horse shop. I'm gonna go up this little hill and I see the horse right there. It is not a ghost horse, so I'm gonna turn around. I usually check the breeds. If they're a thoroughbred, I'm not gonna capture a mid-tier horse, even if it's not a ghost horse. I have seen Scarecrow Shires. Those I will stop and catch, and usually the same for the S'mores, Dutch Warmbloods, I will stop and catch. But unless it's something I don't have in my capture log, I'm not going to stop for it. There is no horse in the pumpkin patch, but I see the horse bar in the back, and I got stuck in the fence, so that's fun. Okay, there we go. I saw the horse bar back here, so this is number 3. And I'm just skipping over the ones I don't want right now. And I'm trying to make my video shorter, so this will probably be the last run I do. If you guys want a longer horse capturing video for ghost horses, let me know. There is not a horse up here, so I'm not sure where this one is. Number 4. Let's see. And this is also good to keep track, because sometimes if you can't find your horses, you're missing out on potentially finding a ghost horse. I don't see where this one is, so I'm gonna keep going and assume that I went further down the path, and I'll check when I come run back this way. It did. So I found it right here. This one's a thoroughbred, so I will catch this one. I catch horses weird. I know some people catch horses while riding their horse. I can't do that. I hate stop and going. But I don't know if that's the 4th horse or the 5th horse for this spawn location, so I am going to go down here to check, and yes, there is a Appaloosa over here, so those were the 4. The 4th and 5th spawn locations, and now I just need to check the left side of the pumpkin patch. So we're back here, and we just need to check the one that's over there. Because this route has a lot of back and forths, if you miss a spawn location, you can easily check on your way back. So sometimes if you like miss a ghost horse or something, you can always turn around and go backwards. A lot of the times you're gonna have to turn around anyways. Oh, okay. There we go. So this one's an event horse, so I am gonna spend the time to catch it, even if it's not a ghost horse. And because I craft bulk copper lassos, I am gonna take a second to catch this horse. I don't like to spend money on a ton of lassos with higher tiers. To me, there's no point, because a lot of the time I'm catching mid-tier horses too, just for money, and it's not worth the money they sell for. By the way, if you're curious, oh, there goes my vision. So I'm gonna log out, because I forgot to log out once I captured that horse. If you're curious, copper lassos, to craft 100 of them, the rope and the copper is about 9.5 thousand tokens. So I know every time I need a new batch of lassos, it's costing me about 10k tokens. So whatever horses I capture with those lassos, I try to keep them mid to high tier, so I know I'm making either my money back or I'm getting a horse that I really like, or like an event horse that I can sell for a bit. But yeah, that is how I hunt ghost horses. Again, it only takes about 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5 if you find several horses you want to capture. But doing that loop over and over, I've gotten a few horses that I really like. I was gonna go back to mainland so I could show some of the ghost horses I've gotten that I really like. I am gonna do that. I'm gonna do that in a public server though. But yes, those are all my tips and tricks to catching ghost horses. Again, I'm gonna show the map while this is loading, just so you can take another screenshot. And then I'll show you some of the ghost horses I've gotten personally that I really like, and I'll also tell you about some of the prices, because I know they go for a lot right now, and a lot of players are overselling or underselling their horses. Yes, give me one moment. Again, feel free to screenshot the map while it's on screen. And we are back at my island in my pasture. So right here are the ghost shires. I've only caught one so far, and ghost shires go for about 200,000 right now tokens. You can find it a little bit more or less depending on the color. This one's white, so it would be about 200,000. The Frisians go for about 120, I've seen. Oh, there it is. Frisians go for about 120,000 tokens. I have this one that's purple and orange, and I have another one that is orange and purple. Again, some people are underselling or overselling. Same with Clydesdales, are about the same as Frisians, I've found. But yes, I've caught a couple Clydesdales as well, a white and a red one. This is my other Frisian. So again, they're like opposite colors. And the other breeds of ghost horses, so I'll show you my inventory. Stuff like thoroughbreds, I've seen some of them sell on the Discord for 80,000, which is like the most. And the Andalusians can be about 50 to 80,000. Same with the other mid tiers. Icelandics depends. I've seen about 30 to 50,000 tokens. Yeah, so I've always had trouble actually selling my ghost horses. What I do is I sell all of my ones that I don't want. I lock them at the top of my inventory, take a screenshot, and put them on the socials for sale, and I put all of them for 25,000 tokens each. So I found that's a good way. And then the lower tier ghost horses I haven't even been catching, but when I was catching like quarters and Appaloosas and paint horses, I've only sold those for like 1 to 2,000 because I was trying to get rid of them for inventory space. But usually they go about 5 to 10,000 if you're looking at like normal prices. I just like to get rid of a lot of my horses. Anyways, that's all the information you need for catching ghost horses. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and make sure you catch as many ghost horses as you can before the event ends. I know Halloween is over, so a lot of people have more time, and catching ghost horses is a great way to make a lot of money right now, along with farming that corrupt energy and crypt keys for the event. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.